my name is Zwa and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be doing a review and discussion of the new Netflix series Blood and Water, or like how everyone at TL likes to call it,
Where's she answering? And who am I? That's not a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO. Gossip Girl.
So Blood and Water is this teenage mystery drama story. It follows our protagonist named Buleng as she tries to uncover, the mystery behind her missing sister, who has been missing ever since she was born, since the day she was born. It's how she tries to find out if this person that she met at this birthday party, Fikile, if this person is actually her sister. So how it all happens, it's actually quite... Honestly, it's a bit funny if you think about it. So how it all happens is that Buleng is celebrating Phumelele's birthday. Phumelele is, her missing sister. And, they've been celebrating her birthday each and every year, like for the past 16, 17 years now. And Buleng has had it. She's done. She goes to this party, this house party with her friend Zama. At this party, she meets this photographer, Wade, who soon becomes her friend. And Wade is like, oh, hey, you remind me of this girl. It's her birthday today. And Buleng's like, which girl? And Wade is like, oh yeah, her name's Fikile. It's her birthday. Buleng gives one look at Fikile and Buleng's like, that's my sister, y'all. That's my sister. I just know that's my sister. And like, when I watched it, I was like, girl, I don't think it works like that. So basically, after a series of events in the first episode, Buleng gets a transfer to Fikile's school, which is Parkhurst High. This very elite, like the top of the cream of the crop type of schools, those private schools that are really nice and super cute. And yeah, like from episode 2, it's about Buleng trying to uncover, okay, is Fikile my sister? I think she's my sister, but what's going on? There's a secret adoption agency, going on. And there's also, whispers of human trafficking around. It's a clusterfuck of things just happening. But that's it. That's basically what the story is about. As usual, I'm going to go right off the bat, and I think I'm going to give this show a 4 out of 5. The good parts that I liked about the show, honestly, there's only been like one other Netflix show that has come from Africa, and that's Queen Sono. But like, so far out of these 2 shows, the production is brilliant. The colors are vibrant, the colors are immaculate, the establishing shots, like everything is just so good about it, like on a visual level. It looks good on my eyes. Like everything is just like bright and vibrant and colorful. The location for me is a bit of a wild choice because like I'm a UCT student and I've lived at the res that the show was filmed, which is Smuts. So every time I watched it, I would be taken out because I know Smuts. I know like the layout of that entire area, and I'd be like,
this doesn't work with me. Like it's messing up my mind.
By the time I was like on episode 3, I was used to it. But the first 2 episodes, I couldn't get used to it because I would just be taken out. I'm not saying it's a problem, but it's just something that I had to get used to. A lot of people have been like complaining about the acting, and to be honest, I don't think it was that bad. I think that the acting is what you would expect from a teenage drama show. At the end of the day, you are just watching teenagers and teenage angst. Fair enough, we should have a chat as to, how so many of the actors and actresses of the show didn't look like teenagers. And we should have a chat as to, okay, why aren't, studios giving teenage roles to actual teenagers? At the same time, the acting was good enough, it was competent enough, like I knew what I was walking into. I knew that, okay, we're gonna have some teenagers here, and it is what it is, and there's gonna be some teenage angst, which I love. This is what I expected, and it's okay, and I'm fine with it. Let's just keep it rolling. Something that I want to bring up, and I think this is my segue into like the things that I didn't like about the show. If you are a fan of character-driven stories in which, you want to see these complex, layered characters with depth, you may not really enjoy Blood and Water, because Blood and Water is a very plot-driven story. Something is happening, one thing after another, everything just keeps happening. And the thing is, it's 6 episodes, so you can only do so much with 6 episodes. And our protagonist, Buleng, she is the one character who we obviously see all the time, and she's given a lot of room to show more layers and more depth compared to the other characters. But at the same time, it's like, okay, then the other characters just become flat. And this is another thing that I didn't like, was the pacing. The pacing was so fast. Like each and every minute, something's happening. And I didn't have enough time to just sit down and take in the events that are happening. Sort of like take in and be like, whoa, like how is this event affecting these people on an emotional level? I think when the pacing is too fast, then the characters don't have enough time to just sit down and take in what's happening around them. Like with young characters, there is so much scope to like, you know, open up those layers and like release all of the emotion. And I feel like we did that with Buleng like on an average level, like competently enough. I would have liked to see more. But with the other characters, things were happening to the other characters as well, but it was just flat. Like it was only with Ufikile at the end of the season when like literally like her life was just crumbling down. Everything was unraveling. We just saw her like, you know, wreck, you know, her room. Obviously we got like another scene where she was standing by the swimming pool and she was like, I'ma just jump. I was like, okay, like great. Then, you know, like we have that, but I want to see more. Like give me more, girl. Give me more. I want more. You can only do so much with 6 episodes. That's not a lot of time. With a movie or series, you have a set time, a set, you know, amount of episodes to do as much character development and as much, you know, growth as you can. With 6, and you have a plot heavy, you know, series, I don't think you can do much when it comes to like character development and like the depth of those characters besides just the protagonist. Honestly, there are some characters that I really don't care about, and I kind of feel bad because I feel like they wanted me to care about these characters. Like Riley and Chad, the coach and the coach's wife. Chad was cheating on Riley with Fikile, and you know, Riley was pregnant, and there was like the scene in episode 5, I think, where, you know, like there's the devastation and, you know, the breaking up of that couple. I didn't care. I feel like I should have cared. I know that I should have cared more. Like, I should feel bad for these characters, but I was left not caring. Like it kind of felt hollow. Guys, I feel like 2 more episodes would have done so much in terms of just like taking the pacing down, slowing down the pacing, allowing the characters to grow even more and, you know, to develop those layers. I think it would have done the show such a good service if it had 2 more episodes. I don't know what season 2 will offer us, but I do feel like in some way season 1 and season 2 would have worked together as a season, like cohesively, like nicely together. In a sense that the character arcs aren't complete in the season. It feels like the characters were coming, and then and that's it. Like the arcs aren't complete. I guess the plot is complete because the events that happened at the final episode is what would have happened at the end of a season anyway. But it felt like the season was too short, and because of that, the characters didn't feel like they completed a full arc. Plot-wise, it's like, oh my god, yes, you know, Fikile knows why Buleng has been so weird for 6 episodes. Character-wise, it just feels, I feel robbed. I feel like I didn't have that cathartic feeling that I would normally have at the end of a season when the character arcs are complete. I would like to like just speak about a few characters now. One character that I feel like really she did that was Wendy. Wendy was played by Natasha Tahane, and I feel like Natasha ate that role up. Yes, like I said, we need to have a chat about why studios don't give teenage roles to teenagers. But Natasha did that, you guys, with the little that she was given. And honestly, Wendy wasn't given a lot. And I really wanted to, in season 2, I want to see more of Wendy and I want to see more of Reese. Like, those are the 2 characters that I really want to see more of in season 2. But with Wendy, I feel like Wendy was like an interesting character. She was like, you know, the woke queen of the school. She would like constantly do this whole social justice things and be the social justice warrior, much to the chagrin of like her classmates like Chris and KB and Fikile and Reese, like much to their chagrin. She's also not above using ruthless ways of getting what she wants. Wendy was prepared to like change Buleng's article so that, you know, Tahira has a leg up, you know, in the whole head girl conflict thing. I was like, okay, like I don't like your ways, girl. Like, that's intense. But it was interesting because, like, she's this type of person who's like, morals and like she's a good person, but she's also not above being ruthless to get what she wants. And she's also not above using her own, like privilege, like bringing in her mom to like be like, tell the principal, hey, girl, put me back into the school. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's really interesting. Like something like that, I'm like, okay, I'm interested in this character. I want to know more about her. I want to know why exactly does she have such a personal vendetta against Fikile? What did Fikile ever do to Wendy? Like, why is why is there so much contention between those two characters? And I really want to see more of that. I love Reese so much, and I'm so annoyed that we didn't get to see more of her. She would make these passing statements as to like, a girl's gotta eat, a girl's gotta, do what she gotta do. And I'm like, okay, but why? Like, what is your family background? Like, what is going on to the point where you have to sell drugs and stuff like that? Like, what's happening? And I feel like we didn't get that. And I want to see more of Reese. I want to see more of Reese. Reese is like, she's snarky. She's cool. Would we be friends at school? Probably not. I would be scared out of my pants. Just like being in the same space as Reese, because I feel like she would literally just like look at me and I'd feel a punch on my face. But I want to see more of her. I'm interested and I'm intrigued in that character. I honestly feel like most of like the female characters in the story, I'm interested in knowing more about. KB, I want to know more about KB too. I really do. I just feel like the development of the relationship between KB and Buleng was a little bit rushed. Yes, we kind of have higher stakes now when we go to season 2. Should it get renewed for season 2? Fingers crossed. But I feel like the stakes are slightly more personal in season 2, which I like because, as we were reaching the final scenes of the final episode, Buleng was really debating whether she should tell anyone else besides Wade if, Fikile could possibly be her sister. By telling anyone else, she risks losing the relationship that she has with KB because KB's dad is implicated in this whole human trafficking adoption agency nonsense. If that comes out, there could be like a lot of conflict in that relationship, and she doesn't want to lose that. She can see that Fikile's life has basically fallen apart, and Buleng telling Fikile, hey girl, turns out your parents aren't actually your parents, you're my sister, could upend her life even more. So we obviously see that, okay, there are stakes, there are consequences to this character's actions, and I liked that, but I feel like because of the pacing, because of how everything was just so fast, we got there way too quickly. Parts that were supposed to be emotionally aching for us weren't at times. Like, sometimes they felt a little bit hollow for me. I want to talk about Chris. This is just a personal thing. It's a personal thing. Like, you may not have felt the same way, but it's a personal thing. When we were first introduced to Chris, Chris was, rich white boy, the spoiled brat. And I was like, I'm not going to care about this character. He's just another straight white boy who's rich, who's from Cape Town, no less. Who cares? We find out that Chris is pansexual. And I'm like, ooh, queer. Yes. By the time I got to episode 6, I wanted to vomit in Chris's mouth. Because I'm dying for queer representation. Whenever I see a queer character being, represented, I'm always like, oh my gosh, yes, thank goodness. And I'm always like, this queer character is going to be like, a decent person. He's going to be nice. He's going to be cool. I'm going to like him, like automatically like that. But then the more I thought about this, the more I realized that queer people are people. They're human beings. Like, we are people too. And we do shitty things to other people as well. We do terrible things to other people as well. We do good things. We are human beings. We have flaws. We're not flawless, we are people as well. And when I see that being represented, when I saw that being represented in Chris, when I saw that, whoa, like, he is a rich white person from Cape Town who's queer, like, those identities like came together in a way that I sort of like should have known that, oh, this is what I would have expected from, a queer person from Cape Town, from that sort of like space. But seeing it rocked my world because I kind of like my queer characters who are represented in the media to be decent people, to be good people. And when I saw that Chris wasn't that, like Chris was kind of an asshole, I was like, I don't like this. Obviously, representation is like difficult because that queer character may not represent me, but I know that they represent someone else in the community, and that's okay. But guys, Chris is an asshole. No ways. No, like I was like, no ways, Chris. Like, fuck you. I can't take it. Like, no. It's a personal thing that I realized about myself when I was watching, you know, Chris's character go from, you know, episode to episode. I was like, okay, like, this is why I don't like you. It's not because of you being you. Like, you being you, I don't like you anyways, because, like, you know, you're kind of an asshole. But the reason why I don't like you is because your like representation doesn't go with what I want to see in a queer character in the media. And yeah, honestly, I feel like that's okay. Like, I feel like queer characters should be allowed to play like the various like spectrums of morality, I guess. I mean, there shouldn't be a problem when I see a character who's the antagonist. And I was speaking to my friend Tammy about this, but should we be seeing it now? And I'm not saying that we should now like see queer characters who are representing the media as they should just be represented as good people. But when is it that we can start seeing, you know, queer characters be villains, be antagonists? And I was reading this other post on Instagram the other day about, you know, how writing queer characters, you know, sometimes it's nice to have a spectrum of queer characters within the show or within the book that you're writing, in a sense that if you are going to have, you know, queer characters that can be like the bad guy, then you should have queer characters who should be on the good guy's side to even things out, I guess, to sort of be like, hey, like, because they are across the spectrum of morality. When you have your only queer character as the villain, as the antagonist, it's like, okay, but why? Guys, Uzama, I love Zama so much. Oh my god. I wish I was friends with Zama. I just love that girl. Love her. He is such a nice guy. Shame, man. I appreciated how Wade didn't do the whole,
yeah, like, you know, you rejected me, but I'm a good person. Why don't you want me?
He didn't do all of that. He was like, okay, listen, bro, like, I can't do the whole friend zone thing. I'm still gonna help you as best as I can. And I feel like as a story progressed in the last few episodes, they still stayed as friends, Wade and Buleng. Wade sort of turned his attention towards someone who will probably feel or reciprocate the feelings that he had towards Buleng, and that's Tahira. And please, dear God, can we get that? Can we please get Tahira and Wade? First, I shipped Wade and Buleng. I was like, that's my ship, and that's on period. And as the show progressed, and then I saw KB and Buleng interact, and I saw the chemistry, I was like, girl, KB and Buleng though. And then we saw that little scene, you know, at the movie, where there was Tahira and Wade and they were interacting, and I was like, oh, yes, please. Yes. And in my head, I was like, there's balance in the world. Wade and Tahira, Buleng and KB, balance. Thank you. I think that's it. Like, I think I've like spoken about all of my feelings regarding the show. I definitely want to see a season 2, and if you are a person who likes plot-driven stories, you'll probably enjoy this show. If you're a person who likes character-driven stories, maybe not. However, I do believe that teenagers, you know, deserve to see themselves represented in this way, to see themselves reflected in this way. Having a, you know, a predominantly black cast, a cast that's led by, you know, predominantly women, I think it's something that we deserve to see, something that women deserve to see themselves in, teenagers deserve to see themselves in. Because of that, I feel like this show should be given a try, should be watched by many, you know, by many people. If you can watch the show, watch it, because this representation is necessary, it's important, and it's beautiful. All in all, 4 out of 5, engaging plot. It was entertaining. Some of the characters are a bit flat for me. I would have liked to see more depth, more layers, but hopefully we can see that in season 2. Pacing was a bit too quick. Maybe we can slow down in the pacing in season 2. But other than that, 4 out of 5, y'all. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Really appreciate it. Let's talk about the show in the comment section below. What was your favorite part? What didn't you like about the show? How do you feel about the ships? You know, KB and Buleng, Wade and Tahira. How do you feel about that? Let me know. Let's discuss in the comment section below. Thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye!